In 1962, passengers aboard the ocean liner Antonio Grazia were enjoying a lively evening cruise. Antonio Grazia Francesca and his band filled the dance floor with music, and almost everyone joined in, except for young Katie, who sat alone with a spelling toy. A waiter noticed her boredom and helped her arrange the letters to read. "I'm so bored." The ship's captain eventually spotted Katie by herself and invited her to dance. As the cheerful evening continued, no one noticed a mysterious figure elsewhere on the ship pulling a lever that loosened a taut wire. After spinning violently, the wire snapped and whipped across the dance floor. Lights shattered, decorations were destroyed, and every dancer was severed across the upper body, except for Katie, whose short height saved her life. A salvage crew was struggling to tow a damaged vessel, taking on too much water. As the ship's weight made the operation nearly impossible, Epps slid down a wire to investigate. She discovered a puncture in the port floater that would flood the vessel within minutes. Captain Murphy wanted to abandon the job, but Epps insisted on repairing it. Munder and Dodge quickly joined her, and together they welded metal over the breach, salvaging the vessel just in time. Later, while the crew celebrated both the rescue and their payout, a pilot named Jack Ferryman approached them. He explained that he had spotted a large ship in the Bering Sea the previous month. Attempts to contact it had failed, and when he saw it again a few days later, it was still adrift. He offered to hire the crew to investigate, insisting that he accompany them. They set out early the next morning, but the entire day passed without results. That evening, Santos spotted something on the water and called for Murphy. By the time Murphy arrived, it had vanished. Murphy saw nothing on radar and assumed Santos had imagined it, until moments later, a large radar signature appeared and disappeared erratically. Suddenly, a massive ship materialized directly in front of them. Santos stopped the tugboat just in time to avoid a full collision, though the bow scraped the hull and damaged the engine. Murphy recognized the name on the vessel: Antonio Grazia, the Italian ocean liner that had vanished without a distress call in 1962. Every captain dreamed of discovering it. Using their crane, half the crew boarded the Grazia while the others stayed behind to monitor the tugboat. On board, they found every life preserver locker empty and all lifeboats missing. The moment they stepped inside, their radios lost connection with the tug. A ticking pendulum clock startled them as it suddenly struck the hour. Elsewhere, unseen by the team, Katie's spelling toy moved on its own to spell "Welcome aboard." As the group explored, static grew stronger over the tugboat's radio. Still, they encountered no bodies. When they entered a lower level, the floor collapsed under Munder. Epps caught him, but nearly fell herself until the others dragged both of them to safety. During the struggle, Epps glimpsed Katie in the dark below, only for the girl to vanish. At the bridge, they found the helm and compass dead and the fuel tanks empty. Dodge discovered a digital watch, technology that did not exist in 1962, proving someone had boarded the ship since its disappearance. With little more to investigate, Murphy ordered everyone to rest and tow the Grazia in the morning. Upon returning to the tugboat, Ferryman asked if they had solved the mystery. Murphy explained they had not, comparing the situation to the Mary Celeste, another ship historically found adrift with no crew aboard. The crew debated their next move. Murphy wanted to tow the ship, but Santos doubted their tugboat's ability to move such weight. With no anchors left on the Grazia, they also couldn't mark its location and return later. Greer agreed to repair the tugboat's engine, estimating it would take 2 weeks to reach shore. The next morning, the crew scuba dived to inspect the hull and discovered a large breach slowly sinking the ship. Worse still, a strong current was dragging the Grazia toward nearby rocks. It would crash within 3 days. The team protested that they had too little time to repair both the hull and the tugboat, but Murphy insisted they try. Santos remained on the tugboat to fix the engine while the others split into pairs to assess the liner. Inside, their radios once again failed. Munder and Dodge located the flooded engine room. Greer and Murphy found the captain's quarters, although Murphy strangely refused to let Greer enter with him. Inside, Murphy found the captain's hat, a bloodstained razor, and a bottle of whiskey. When he looked into a mirror, he was horrified to see himself reflected as the Grazia's captain, only for the vision to vanish in a blink. Meanwhile, Epps became separated from Ferryman and entered the ship's abandoned pool, where she discovered bullet casings and holes in the tiles. While climbing the ladder, she saw Katie again, lost her grip, and fell unconscious. Her blood drained through holes in the floor into the walls, but Epps didn't see it. When ferrymen arrived to help, blood began seeping from dozens of holes, eventually filling the pool with a gruesome mix of water and bodies. At the same time, Francesca's voice echoed throughout the ship, even through the malfunctioning radios. Greer followed Francesca's singing into the dining hall, where he found a still-lit cigarette with lipstick on the piano. A poster of Francesca caught his eye, and he admired her beauty, unaware she was watching him. Elsewhere, Epps checked an air vent in the central laundry room. Water suddenly burst through the vent, flooding the room and trapping her and ferrymen with a cluster of decomposing bodies only a month old. Radios remained dead, forcing them to find another exit. As they wandered through the cargo hold, ferrymen became distracted by an antique car. Epps noticed movement among piles of mailbags and uncovered a crate. When she kicked it open, rats scattered, revealing gold bars beneath. Later, when the whole crew gathered, they opened more crates and confirmed the treasure was unmarked and therefore stolen, making it effectively untraceable. Their excitement ended abruptly when a supernatural force manipulated a propane tank in the tugboat's engine room. Sensing danger, Katie tried to warn Epps, but another ghost pushed her aside. Moments later, the tugboat exploded. Santos burned and leaped into the sea, while the vessel split apart. Epps and ferrymen dove into the water to rescue survivors, managing to save Greer and Munder, but Santos disappeared beneath the surface. With their tugboat destroyed, the crew was forced to remain aboard the Graza. Tensions rose as Dodge blamed ferrymen for Santos's death, and a fight broke out. Epps insisted they repair the Graza to survive or escape, though the men argued bitterly. That night, while Katie danced around the empty pool, the crew discovered the ship's food stores looked fresh, until they revealed worms beneath the surface. Determined to understand the ship's past, Epps searched the passenger list and found Katie's name listed as traveling alone. Finding the girl's room, Epps entered after every door in the corridor mysteriously slammed shut except one. Inside, she discovered Katie's corpse in the closet. Katie's ghost appeared and explained that everyone aboard was trapped. A malevolent entity collected souls and would feed once he met his quota. Before Epps could ask more, blood oozed from the ceiling. Katie urged her to escape and vanished with a scream. Meanwhile, Greer drank alone in the dining hall. The room magically restored itself to its former glory. Francesca and the resurrected passengers applauded him. When Francesca seduced him, he reasoned it wasn't cheating if it wasn't real. But when he followed her to an elevator shaft, she became monstrous, and he fell to his death. Murphy, drunk in the captain's quarters, was visited by the ghost of the original captain, who gave him a notebook containing photographs of Lorelei, the ship carrying the gold before the Graza found it. The captain revealed that there had been one survivor, someone Murphy recognized, leaving him horrified. Panicked, Murphy fled but encountered Santos's ghost, who blamed him for his death and tormented him relentlessly. When Epps and ferrymen approached, Murphy hallucinated them as Santos and attacked. Epps defended herself, eventually stabbing Murphy's foot. Ferrymen knocked him out. The crew restrained Murphy in the ship's aquarium for safety. The next morning, the crew still couldn't find Greer. Epps convinced them to continue repairs. She, Dodge, and Munder dove into the engine room, sealed the hull breach, and set up hoses to pump out the water. With the ship partially operational again, Epps resumed her search for Greer, with Katie's help. Tragically, she found his body. Katie took Epps into a psychic vision revealing the true history. After the Graza retrieved the Lorelei's gold, greed drove passengers and crew into a murderous frenzy. Humans, not ghosts, had killed Katie. Francesca manipulated the men fighting over the gold until only one remained, but he killed her as well. That last surviving man branded her, and it was Ferryman. Realizing Ferryman had been left alone with Murphy, Epps ran to the aquarium, only to find Murphy dead. She collapsed in despair. Meanwhile, a blockage stopped the pumps. Munder dove in to clear it, but was caught in moving gears and brutally crushed. Epps found his blood swirling in the water. On the bridge, Ferryman attempted to leave. Dodge confronted him, and after Ferryman taunted him relentlessly, Dodge shot him, believing he had killed him. But Ferryman survived. Epps prepared explosives when Dodge approached, claiming Ferryman was dead. She warned him not to trust appearances. When Dodge exploded in rage and never asked about Munder, she realized he was not Dodge. Ferryman had taken his face after killing him. Ferryman revealed his true nature, a damned soul condemned to deliver corrupted souls to hell. Katie was excluded because her soul remained pure. He offered to spare Epps if she let the ship remain intact, but she refused. Ferryman struck her with a metal beam. She fell into the water, where he tried to drown her. Underwater, Epps found a crossbow, stabbed him, and then used it to trigger the detonator by firing an arrow. The explosion tore through the Graza, burning Ferryman and freeing the trapped souls. Katie appeared one last time, guiding Epps to safety before disappearing with the others. Epps drifted among debris until a passing ship rescued her. Later, as she was being loaded into an ambulance, she saw officers carrying crates of gold aboard another ship, and Ferryman walking among them as though unharmed. Before she could scream a warning, the ambulance doors closed in her face. Thank you for watching. Turn on notification and also subscribe for more.